In this video, we're going to go over the reasons I really love DoorDash, but don't you worry, I'll have another video on the reasons I really hate DoorDash. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So guys, I know I talk decently bad about a lot of things on DoorDash, and it can be super frustrating, super freaking annoying at times, but there's so many freaking things I love about doing DoorDash. And sometimes I lose money when I could be making more doing something else. Don't worry, I didn't fart. I just moved in my seat. See if I can do that sound again. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I really love doing DoorDash. I probably lost all you guys by that, but whatever. Who cares? So the main things I love about DoorDash is that I have like anxiety, and I used to have, really bad depression at times and really bad anxiety that would cause, man, I really wish the lighting in here was better. But yeah, it would cause, maybe if I go like that, try to make this serious, but also try not to, as, I don't know, let's go into this. So yeah, I've had really bad anxiety. Used to have really bad panic attacks. I couldn't even drive for a long time. And the main reason, and a lot of it was, I don't want to go into details or specifics on it, at least on this video, but it was a lot to do with just not going anywhere, not doing anything. And I did YouTube full time, and it was, good in a lot of ways, because I didn't have to work, other than stupid car. I didn't have to work, and I didn't have to, go anywhere, and I could do whatever I wanted to technically, and I didn't really have to worry about money so much because I didn't have a lot of bills at that time either. But not doing anything and not going out anywhere, plus all the things that have happened before that, it was really, really bad and really hard on me. But I got out of it, and I learned to go, and anything that I'm afraid of, just go do it and just get past it. Don't, pretty much coddle myself. Just, if I'm scared of something, I need to just go do it and get over the fact of whatever I'm scared of. And finally, DoorDash, I randomly got a thing about DoorDash, or somebody said something about, I think my friend, one of my friends, I don't know if she wants me to mention her, but she was telling me about Instacart, how she was doing it. She was making like $200 a day or whatnot from doing it. And I was like, oh, that's really good. And so at first I was thinking about that, but then I didn't really want to get into anything at that time. But then I heard about DoorDash. I don't even remember how I really heard about it, but I got signed up, and I didn't really get going on it. I didn't even do my first one. I was just kind of afraid to go up there, especially because I didn't want to start where I was at, because there's no orders. I was living in Winlock at that time. I knew that I wasn't going to get anything down there, so I didn't do any orders at all. And it took me quite a while from when I got my welcome package to really get going, if I remember. No, I didn't even have my bag. Well, I'm trying to think here, because I remember dashing. It's so hard to remember things sometimes. My memory is really good on some things and really bad on others, because I swear that I dashed without a bag, and they told me I could dash without a bag at least for a little while, which would be before, I got my welcome package, because that comes with the bag and everything else. But I don't know, maybe I did a dash or two. I don't remember. Anyways, so I got, I remember getting the welcome package, and I got going on that. And I don't remember the first dashes, though. That's another thing. But either way, the whole thing is the reason why I really love DoorDash is just driving. And at first, it wasn't all the greatest for me. I had a crappy van. Oh my gosh, I hate notification volume when I'm trying to make a video. But I had a crappy van, and I'm trying to think of, yeah, that was actually, man, see, I don't think in the past very often. I mainly only think forward. I try to only focus on what's coming next and what I can do better and what I can improve, which is good in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's good to go back and just think about where you've been and where you were and how you've improved. And a lot of times, you can think of, at least if you think of all the hard times, everything that you were at before, and then you think of all the things you've got now, it really helps. Because back then, before I started doing DoorDash, I was living out of my van for a little while there, technically. Um, I I don't want to go into details, but I was living in Whidbey Island. I don't want to go into too many details on this video, but a thing happened where I had like a falling out with who I was living with. So then I started living in, pretty much campgrounds. I'd sleep in my van, or, I'd go out and at the bar, and then I'd sleep in the parking lot. And then I would, but it was mainly, I would, pay for a parking or a camping spot and like sleep in my van. And then I finally drove all the way, and this was the first really big drive because I was barely driving when I was up there. But I'm like, I need to get back. And a lot of it was because I wanted to see my son. Living up there, I hardly got to see him. And I was like, I need to just go. I need to get away from here. And I need to make a new life. And that was the thing. I came down from there. I drove the whole way from Whidbey Island through Seattle, Tacoma, Puyallup, all the areas, Olympia, down to my parents down in Winlock, and I moved there, and I lived there for a decent amount of time. But it was one of those things where they didn't really have any, or they didn't want me really, or actually I didn't want to, be in the house. I wanted to sleep out in the van. I wanted to have my own space. So that was the thing. So I parked my van up on their hill, and I lived out of my van for a while. And then that is when, did I get I don't remember if I got any jobs in between that, but I do know around there is when I started doing DoorDash. But the main thing I'm kind of getting lost on the point of this video, but we are up to the 8-minute mark, and I came home early so I could hopefully get some sleep. But the main thing is it's just really good for my mental health. Driving and just focusing on the road, focusing on the orders, it really helps just put my focus into one thing. I don't really get depressed. Sometimes if I go too long, I get anxiety, or I get, stressed out. And that's usually when it's time. It's like, I need to go home, because there is like a point where if I don't get enough sleep, I know that it's weird how your psyche, I guess you would call it, your mental health, actually, where you can be like super happy, super, just feeling good, and then everything can just shift and change, and just everything can go downhill all at once. And so it's like one of those things where I make sure that I focus, because like if I don't get sleep, then I can go off the deep end almost, where I just, start, I don't know if I really want to go too much into it, where I just start crying, and I'll have a whole day where there's nothing but that. And I hardly have days like that anymore, but it's one of those things where I've learned to get past everything, and DoorDash has actually really helped me to be able to get past a lot of that. And I went from that crappy van, slowly worked my way up. I got, I rented a room, paying like $600 a month. I lived there for a good amount of time. It's good people. I liked living there, but it was, I don't know. I wanted my own place, and I wanted to move closer to my son, which I did. everything didn't go exactly according to plans, but, everything is slowly but surely got better in a lot of ways, and other ways not so much because of other things that I might talk about someday, but I might not. But still, I went from a crappy van. I got upgraded to this. I got screwed over by freaking i5 Toyota really bad, but it's one of those things where if I can get, a car, I'll do it. Even though it was like $5,000 overpriced, no freaking joke. I should not have done that. Seriously, the suggested price at a dealership was $7,500. They sold it to me for $12,500, and they convinced me and talked me into doing it. Oh my gosh, what the frick was I thinking? That thing was just bad, but still, it got good gas mileage, at least better than the van. It was like 25 to 28 miles to the gallon or something. It was like a Chevy Sonic. Then I upgraded to a, what did I get? A 2019. Yeah, I got an XSE, the Corolla XSE, which was really nice. But then I was like, I want a brand new car, so I got a hybrid. I got the Corolla hybrid, brand new. And then I went through 120,000 miles. It is one of the things I do not like about DoorDash, how much freaking miles I put on my cars, though. But then I also traded that in again, which was also stupid. I did 4 trade-ins to get to where I am, and I pay way too much on this car. I don't even know how I afford everything, just barely. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get back into YouTube, is because I want to actually, instead of just being surviving, I want to actually be thriving. I either need to get YouTube going, or I need to get rid of a lot of things and downgrade. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I'm hanging in there. I am, but things don't change. I don't know if I'm going to. But yeah, I went from there and, through DoorDash and YouTube, because I was still making a lot of money on YouTube, or a good amount. And, but I started making a lot of money because I went from doing YouTube, I was making about $5,000 a month. And then I started doing DoorDash. And then I started making $5,000 plus a month. It was anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 a month, sometimes slightly more. And I was making, $10,000 to $13,000 a month, and got all my credit cards paid off for a while there. I moved, and I've got, I live by myself. I don't have any roommates, and a lot of that is thanks to DoorDash. And, well, the other gig apps I do, but DoorDash is the main thing, because I'm almost at 14,000 subscribers. No, 14,000 trips. I keep saying that, and I'm still not there yet. We're at 13,783, so not quite, but kind of getting close. But, yeah, I've been through a lot, and DoorDash has helped me a lot and has got a lot of things for me. It's just different now. It's still okay, but it's just not. It doesn't vary like it used to. I haven't seen any really good days. Like, there used to be some really awesome days. I don't know, maybe the beginning of next month will really help. We'll see. But at the beginning of the month, there used to be like just freaking all kinds of tips, and it would be just, sometimes it would just be crazy good. Every day at the start of the month used to be $300 to close to $500 every day. And now it's like struggling. Like, it's hard as hell. Like, even if I'm not accepting everything, and it's super busy, I can still hit 300 pretty easily, but I can't really get much higher than that. I don't even remember the last time that I've really got much higher than $300. And this is summer. This is when it's supposed to be really good. And it's, it's okay. And I was doing all right. But it's like, I was making the same stuff and the same amount of money, no matter if I accepted everything or I declined everything. Declined and just tried to take good offers. So it was like, it does save the mileage though. That's the only thing. I swear, you pretty much get the same. At least I seem to get the same amount, either good or bad, whether I accept everything or I don't accept everything. At least how the algorithm works now. It's just a matter of mileage. Like I do way more mileage, but I get paid about the same amount of time, even through doing all those crappy orders and whatnot. Anyways, I think that's about what I wanted to talk about. There's so many things I love about DoorDash. So many things lately, especially. I don't know. It's different. It's better in some ways because you don't have as many crap orders, but at the same time, you don't see as many good orders. It's more like a balance. They take the smaller orders and they put it into the bigger orders more often. So it's just different. I don't know. Please thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe. Lots more stuff to come. We're going to continue on accepting everything, at least for a while. Today, it was like one of those days. Another one, especially today, was like, why? Why did I do this? Because, yeah, I didn't have to do it the way I did it. I could have done more Instacart, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. We did get through day 15 of accepting everything. And that's going to be my video because I want to hurry up and get some sleep. That's why I came home a little earlier. It's like it was 8:30 when I left town. Well, it's 9:30 now. So I got home at 9:15, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, I'm tired. I need some sleep. Obviously, I haven't been sleeping enough, so we might sleep a little bit extra tomorrow. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes instead of going earlier in the day, I'll just sleep in a bit, and then I'll just go later at night. I don't know. We'll see. Bye for now, guys.